It is finally time. Alright guys, so it's finally time in honor of Banjo and Kazooie's 25th anniversary. I will be talking to you about my personal story on, of course, the bear and bird themselves for 25 years. How I got into it, what's my history with them, all that good jazz, etc. And I'm gonna bring these two for the ride. Okay. So, let's strap in, shall we? So, okay, so here we go. So, as a kid, I did not get into, Also, what's up, Roxas? How you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. We are telling a personal story. I'm telling a personal story on how I got into Banjo-Kazooie, what's my history with the series. But how are you doing, Roxas? We're doing a subathon as we do have a subathon going on right now. But anyway, so let me tell you all the story. So at a young age, I think it was like about 5, 6, 7 years old. You know, I wasn't into video games yet at the time, but I did hear about them. And what happened was, it was one day, I don't remember what day it was on, but I remember I was with my dad at the time. And he was visiting a friend who also had a son. And I went to go see what the son was doing, you know, because my dad was saying, like, hey, why don't you go play with my friend's son? And I was like, okay. I mean, well, I didn't know any better. I was like 5 years old or 6 or 7, somewhere around there. I think it was like 5. But, so I walked into my friend's room. And I walked in and he's playing a video game. And from the looks of it, if my memory is correct, he actually was not playing Banjo, but he was playing the original Crash Bandicoot on his PlayStation, on his original PlayStation 1. And I couldn't remember which Crash it was, but it was but based on my knowledge, it was probably either Crash 2 or 3, because it looked like it was Crash in a snow level. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, I saw this kid playing a game, it looked pretty cool, I want something like that. And he was like, okay, maybe for your birthday or Christmas or something, or if you make good grades in school, you know, I'll get you one. Now, at the time, you know, my dad was chill with me playing video games at the time, but of course, my mom was not, though. And of course, you know, to this day, I don't talk to my mother anymore. For anybody who doesn't know, I just cut off my mother about a year ago. A year ago in August last year, due to like a bunch of like dumb stuff, like for like 21 years of mental abuse as a kid, because like she was against like and hard on me on a lot of things. So I just officially cut her out from my life. But around that time, she was not me into being a gamer. She just wanted me to be successful in school and all that stuff. But you know what? I just wanted to be a kid. I just wanted to be a kid for once, you know. Have fun. Go play something, you know? Something like that. Could be Crash 2 or 3, because it came out in 1996. Actually, yeah, it was probably Crash 2 or 3 then. Anyway, so I remember when I came home, my dad told me he had a surprise for me. Let's see, mental pain. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, Roxas. I'm very sorry to hear that, my dude. Sorry to hear that. But anyway, so I remember my dad came home one day from work, and he said, hey, I got you something. I got you a gift. I want you to go open it. So, and so he brought me to the living room in my old house, and what happened was, I opened it, and inside was a Nintendo 64. Yes, you heard that correctly. There was a Nintendo 64 in the box. And I remember smiling and hugging my dad, like thanking him for it. And around that time, you know, I was happy. I was a happy kid. And I loved gazing at the box. Like, I got to see, like, Mario on there, a bunch of other video game characters. I was like, this is actually pretty cool. And on top of that, there was another box. of course, my dad didn't want me to go and play video games empty-handed. So he's like, you know what? I also got you a game for you to play. And I didn't know what it was. In fact, my dad was the one who picked it himself. The one that thought it was more appealing to him. And that game, of course, was Banjo-Kazooie. Of course, this is not the box from 1998. I actually got this box like a year ago, like from like Etsy. But this was the first video game I've ever received. But so I remember I was playing it, and I got so excited. Like I got to like gaze at the box. I loved looking at the pictures. Like it was just cool to look at it. So my dad actually helped set it up, plugged it in. Helped me set it up, plug it in, and we got to play together. Of course, and I loved doing everything. Like I loved running around Spiral Mountain. Got to explore Gruntilda's way, which, by the way, Gruntilda, which of course is her over here. Let me go ahead and get her. I have a plush of her. I do have a plush of Gruntilda. So this is my Grunty plush. This is the plush of Banjo-Kazooie's antagonist. This is Grunty. And what's kind of funny, though, is that her eye actually can come off. Just like in Tooie, So her eye is legit can come off, bro. Her eye can come off, bro. That's kind of creepy. But you know what? I'm going to put the eye back on. I'm going to put her eye back on. Alright, go back over there. Go. Shoot. I just muted her. Good, she deserves it anyway. So, as a kid, I would play to the game, and my dad would watch me play the game. Oh yeah, that plush was really cool. I love that plush. At the time, I was playing through the game, and I remember getting stuck. And I was talking about this earlier in my speed stream, in my little practice speed run during stream today. Also, welcome back, Anstavia. Welcome back, buddy. But anyway, so I remember I got stuck on Tip Top's choir. That was the one where I had to like hit the turtles on their back to like memorize the song. And what happened was I got so upset I asked my dad for help. Also, I forgot to turn off the sound clips. I forgot to turn that off, by the way. I forgot to turn that off since this is a personal story. I forgot to turn that off, but yes, thank you, Ali, for doing that. Okay, I turned them off. Anyway, so I remember I got stuck, and I asked my dad for help, and he said he would help me when he got back from work. So I turned on my N64, and I showed him where I was stuck, and no, it's okay. It's okay, Ali. No need to apologize. No need to apologize. You're good. But anyway, so I remember my dad came home from work, and I showed him the turtle game, and he was like, okay, I want you to pay attention, and I'm going to help you. So what he did was, he actually got a piece of paper. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and get my notebook to show it off. Let me go and get my notebook real quick to show to give you a scenario of what he did. Oh, my poster board fell. Oh, okay. Oops. My water. My water fell. Great. That's just good. Great. So this is what my dad did. So my dad got a piece of paper, and I will do a demonstration. It's gonna be a paper for that. Yeah. I got one right here, Roxas. I got one. Okay. So he kind of drew a circle, and he kind of drew it like this. I know it's probably kind of hard to say, but he kind of drew it like that. And then he would point to me saying, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go here, and go here. That's what I want you to do, okay? So, I listened to my dad, and he told me which turtles to strike. And it really helped me a lot. It really helped me a lot as a kid. And there were times where he would help me, like, write down notes on what I would have to do to get some of the jiggy, some of the levels, to say, like, okay, attack this enemy. Of course, my dad is not a gamer, though. He just helped me out. And he was just like, okay, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to hit this enemy, use this attack. Do you remember when we learned this one from this level? And he wants to know, he said, I want you to do that. And then one of my favorite memories from playing Banjo-Kazooie with my dad, oh my god, JJ with the puns, gosh damn it. Anyway, so one special memory that I hold near and dear to my heart was fighting Gruntilda by myself. Well, of course my dad helped me first. So I remember I got to the final boss against Grunty in Banjo-Kazooie, and my dad actually helped me on the final boss. So he would say, okay, do you remember that charge attack that we did? Like, he would be like, yeah, okay, son, do you remember that charge attack we did in that one level? Okay, alright, let's tone it down on the puns, JJ. Let's tone it down, shall we? Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, let's tone it down. Let's tone it down on the puns, JJ. Where did I get this plush though? So I got this at a Best Buy. And then I got the Grunty one on the Fangamer website. That's where I got the Grunty one. Yeah, so you can go to fangamer.com, Roxas, and type in the search box Banjo-Kazooie, and you can find this plush. Find the Grunty one I just showed. There's a lot of cool Banjo merch. If you guys want to buy Banjo merch, I'll type in the website that you can go to right here, Roxas, or anybody wants to check it out. It's fangamer.com. That's where you can find a bunch of video game merchandise. Okay, so anyway, I remember my dad would say, okay, I want you to use this attack to fight Gruntilda. And he would say, like, okay, now, like, go in and, like, press this button, blah, blah, blah. And I remember that I hugged my dad the moment I saw Gruntilda fall off the tower. And I felt like a proud kid. I felt so happy. I felt so accomplished that I put in a lot of work, like, half of it myself, while my dad, like, helped me out, like get all the jiggies, told me what to do on fighting Gruntilda. And then there was one time I played through the game again, and he was sitting on my bed in my old childhood house, and he was watching me, and he was like, okay, just remember what I told you, but this time, I'm not going to help you. This time I want you to do it. He's like, David, I want you to do it. Which, by the way, yeah, that's my real name, by the way. So he was like, David, I want you to do it this time. I'm gonna sit right here on the bed, and I'm gonna watch you do it. And you're gonna play it. You're gonna play it, and I'm gonna watch you do it. I'm not gonna give out any cues. I'm not gonna give out any commands. You're gonna do it yourself. Just remember what I told you. And I said, okay. So I just sat on my bed, playing the game, fighting Gruntilda, and by myself, even though I almost died a few times, I did it. I actually beat Gruntilda my first time, and I was like about 5, probably 6 years old when this actually first happened. So, and I remember I actually hugged my dad again. I hugged my dad, and I told him that I was really proud of myself. I felt happy that I did it, and not to mention he actually said, good job for trying to 100% it. So, it was pretty good. I felt very accomplished. I felt like a happy child as a kid. I was just like a 5 to 6 year old little boy who was just happy. And then something else actually happened. I think it was like 6 or 7. Something else happened, chat. So let me tell you this. So I was having a birthday party. I was about to turn 6 or 7 years old, and I was gonna have a birthday party. And my dad was gonna buy me 2 Nintendo 64 games for my birthday. And he said, I'll get you 2 games for my birthday. So, and you get to have 2. So, and he says, okay, you get to pick one game, and I'm going to pick the other one. And I'm not going to tell you. So he was kind of, he was being, so my dad was like, he was keeping it interesting for me. So I was kind of excited though. I was excited because I did not know, I was curious, I was like, what is my dad going to get me for my birthday? Because I picked one game, and let me tell you, and the game that I picked from Academy, and keep in mind, we were at Academy, and I don't know if you guys remember the time when Academy actually used to sell, like, video games at the time. Does anybody remember that? I remember the time that Academy Sports and Outdoors stores. I don't know if anybody knows or has the store Academy. It's where you buy, like, sporting goods and stuff like that, but they used to sell video games back then. And that's where I got some of the other games. That's where my dad got most of them. You from Denmark? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure some people haven't heard of it, but yeah, it was mostly like a sporting goods store. That's pretty much what Academy was. So, there was one game that I picked. And let me show you. And by the way, chat, when I was playing, let me show you this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my original... Oh my god! Oh, this is my original trousers! Okay, so anyway. So anyway, one of the two games that my dad bought for me is to where I would pick the game, and my dad will get another one, but he would not tell me. So let me tell you this real quick. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to show y'all something. So guys, this is actually, of course, my legit N64 from 1998. And this was the first controller I've ever used to play Banjo-Kazooie on. To this day, I have never sold this N64. And to this day, 25 years later, it still works. It still works. I've actually tested it before. I played the original Majora's Mask on it. It still works. But this is my old N64 that my dad bought for me a long time ago when I was a little boy. So you guys are probably wondering what could be the game that I picked? What I picked. So let me tell you this. So actually, you know what? I got another game. I got the other game too. Let me go get it. So the day came. So the day came for my birthday party, and it was at a Chuck E. Cheese. I had a birthday party at a Chuck E. Cheese when I was 6 or 7 years old, and I remember when we got to the gifts. I remember I went to the gifts and I opened the first box, and I was curious. I was wondering, could it be the game that I picked, or could it be the game that my dad picked? But it turns out the first game that I opened at my Chuck E. Cheese on one of my birthday parties, it was the game that I picked, which was this one. Which was this game right here. Diddy Kong Racing. This was the game that I picked. I picked this game when I was a kid. I remember seeing this in a box behind a glass case at Academy in its original N64 box. I don't have that box anymore, but this was the game that I picked. I picked it, and this was my first racing game way before Mario Kart 64. And I remember when I played it as a kid, I actually was happy. And I remember telling my dad that Banjo was on here. That Banjo-Kazooie was on here. And the thing is, my dad actually wanted to play with me. So the thing is, my dad and I actually got to hook up the N64. Of course, my mom didn't like it, but who fucking cares? Who gives a shit? So I remember my dad and I would play the multiplayer together. We would play 2-player races. I would be Banjo, and he would be Crunch sometimes. He would be Crunch. And I remember sometimes, like, my dad would just, like, get so mad because he didn't know what he was doing, and I was just being a kid, just having fun and just winning and all that. I mean, sometimes I would play Diddy too, but most of the time I would play as Banjo a lot because, of course, I was, I loved Banjo at the time. So I played this game for hours on end. I used to play the story mode. I got to play this with my dad. And honestly, that was one of my favorite memories of my dad was playing this game. I freaking love this game to the moon and back. Honestly, this is better than Mario Kart 64. And now you guys are probably wondering, what was the other game that my father picked? The one that he said, I'm going to get you this game, but I'm not going to tell you. So, of course, on the same day that I got Diddy Kong Racing, there was one more game. This game was also very important to my life as a child, of me being a gamer. Are you guys ready, chat? Are you guys ready to see what the mystery game was? You guys ready? I'm so based for this, right? Alright, so the game that my father picked me was this game right here. So when I opened the box at Chuck E. Cheese, I saw this game. Super Mario 64. My father was the one who picked this game. He picked it for me. He got me Super Mario 64. And at the time, I did not know who Mario was. I only know Banjo and Diddy Kong. So, truth be told, this was my first ever Mario game. I think I said it before on stream many times, but this is the game that got me into the Mario series. That made me the Mario content creator, the Mario fan that I am today. It all started with this game right here. And of course, I did play this game on the side with, of course, with Banjo-Kazooie and Diddy Kong Racing, but I played Mario 64, you know, and I, of course, to keep it short, you know, I loved running around Peach's castle and, like, going to the paintings and, like, hearing Mario's voice go, "It's me, Mario!" And that just changed my life and just made me the Mario fan I am today. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for Mario and Banjo. But Banjo was the game I played the most. Did I beat WizPig? I did not. I never reached WizPig because I actually sucked at the game. But the thing is, it took me till high school to get to WizPig. It was until high school that I figured out what I needed to do to beat WizPig, and I did it. But I did not know anything about WizPig as a kid. Until the power of YouTube told me everything. Which, of course, I actually used Diddy Kong to win that race. I used Diddy Kong first. Sorry, Banjo. And speaking of Banjo, let me show you something else. There was something else that also helped me play through Banjo-Kazooie. And it was something also my parents got me. And I've never sold it to this day. But chat, this is an official Banjo-Kazooie strategy guide that my parents bought me. I remember looking at a store, I saw this, and I used to read this all the time. Like, chat, here, let me move my microphone so I can show y'all some pictures, but look at this. Look at this is my old school strategy guide that used to help me when I was a kid. I used to read this all the time. I used to look at the map and all that stuff, but this was my strategy guide while growing up in my childhood home. Like, if I needed help, I would bring the old strategy guide. But that was an absolute classic. And then, so kind of jumping a few. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of jump forward to a few years. We're gonna jump on forward. So actually, you know what? I kind of have a story I want to tell you about Diddy Kong Racing. I have a story I would like to share. I have a funny story I need to share with you guys about Diddy Kong Racing as a kid. So, okay, so you guys know that when we were kids, that as kids, you'll come up with silly things. So you know how kids come up with silly things, like, based on their imagination? So, let me tell you this, though. So, as a kid, when I was playing Diddy Kong Racing by myself, I remember that I was on the Haunted Woods level. That's the music that's playing right now. And I remember when I was playing around in the game, and just hearing the song, you know, like seeing the ghosts of Wizpig heads just fly around. I had a crazy, crazy dream in my head as I was playing the game and in my sleep. I had a vision that that Rare actually made a game where Banjo's sister Tootie was wandering around Haunted Woods, and she got kidnapped. And of course, both Wizpig and Grunty teamed up. So there was an entire game to where Banjo and all the Diddy Kong Racing characters were in a platforming adventure to where they would go to Grunty's lair and they would help, and all the Diddy Kong Racing cast would go to Grunty's lair and help Banjo go save his sister. And they would have to fight both Grunty and Wizpig at the same time. But because of that, of course, we all know this game never happened. It was just a silly, silly dream I had when I was like 6 years old. Because I was like, you know what? Imagine going to save Tootie again. And all because of this game right here. And one of the levels in this platformer would have been Haunted Woods. And I was like, that would have been cool. And actually, fun fact, because of that dream that I actually had when I was a kid, and how I wanted to go save Banjo's sister Tootie, this actually inspired me to play Banjo-Kazooie over and over again, all by myself, to see if I could do it without the strategy guide that I showed you guys. And do y'all want to know something? I did it. I was like a 7-year-old kid. I remember I was 7 years old. And I remember after having that dream, I 100%ed all of Banjo-Kazooie. No strategy guide, no help from my dad, since mostly he was busy with work. I did it all by myself, and that dream I had as a kid inspired me to save Tootie by myself with no help. I guess you could say I was a goated gamer as a kid. I was a goated kid. So, cool dream though, right? So anyway, kind of fasting forward to the clock. Kind of doing a little bit of fast forwarding to the clock. Moving on to the other game. I remember a few years later, there was another game. And I remember on TV, I saw the commercial for the game sequel, Banjo-Tooie. This game made me so happy. Another game that made me happy when I was a kid. Good old Banjo-Tooie. So, the story behind this one was... Actually, this was a gift given by good old Dad again. So my dad actually bought me this game. Excuse me. He bought me this game again, and he said, you know what? I'm going to give you a challenge. If you can make good grades in school, I will buy you this game. If you get good grades on your report card. So of course, you know, I hit the books, and I was like in probably like first or second grade, somewhere around there. And I remember that and of course, you know, I worked really hard. Like, I put in all the work, you know, I passed all my tests, I completed all my assignments, I did my homework as a kid. And I remember when my report card game, and I think I got like all A's and B's in school. And I showed it to my dad, and he's like, okay, we're going to take you to a Walmart, we're going to take you to the electronics section, and we're going to get you Banjo-Tooie. And so, good old Dad, once again, bought me Banjo-Tooie. He bought me Banjo-Tooie, and I was a happy child. I was so fucking happy. I remember I was like dancing around in the car, like being a kid. I was being a kid, you know? I was happy that I got to play this game. And of course, just like the first Banjo-Kazooie, I got to look around at the box. So, of course, this is the back of the box, if y'all want to see it. This is the box of Banjo-Tooie. So, I actually did not get help from my dad on this one. I actually, of course, you know, just like a big kid, I actually played this game by myself, and I remember, like, seeing, like, oh, look at that, you know, like, Grunty is a skeleton, and I remember, my mind was blown when I found out, like, this game took place 2 years after the events of Banjo-Kazooie, and I thought, like, okay, Grunty's dead, but now Grunty is a fucking skeleton woman. I'm like, holy shit. Of course, I didn't get scared or anything, I was just like, what is happening? So, I played this game non-stop as a kid. I've got stuck a few times, but the one thing that kind of bothered me a lot as a kid was the backtracking. There was a lot of backtracking that I had to do, to where I was like, oh, I had to go do this, get a move from this level, get a move from this level, and this level, and blah, 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 just to, like, progress and 100% this game. Of course, the time that I 100%ed this game was also in high school, because I couldn't beat Grunty. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was doing. But there was one thing that helped me. And let me show you guys another treat if I can find it. Let me go get it. Oh, found it. Found it. Okay, so, chat, I have another strategy guide, but it's all torn out from years ago. But this is a strategy guide of Banjo-Tooie. And actually, my mom was the one who bought this for me at a Blockbuster this time. She kind of just caved into it and was like, okay, whatever, you can have it, I guess, sure. So, it's all torn up because this thing is old, but, excuse me. But yes, this is a official strategy guide for Banjo-Tooie. Like, it kind of tells you, like, where to go, what you need to do, what abilities you need. Also, Zebo, how you doing? Welcome on in. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, here's a couple more pictures from this good old strategy guide for Banjo-Tooie. Yeah, this is from Blockbuster. My mom bought this for me at a Blockbuster. So, I remember reading it, and sometimes I would get confused because I didn't know what to do. Because, keep in mind, I was a weird kid. I'm always working. Well, I do appreciate it, Zebo. Thank you so much. So, I remember reading it as a kid, and I kind of got stuck a few times. And I was like, what? And I was like, I don't even know what to do anymore. This is crazy. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, and I remember, like, now, this is where things get really, 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 really juicy in here. Give me 1 second. So now we're jumping into the good stuff. So, okay. Actually, you know what? It's not a good song. Okay, so at the time, I saw a commercial for the other game that I'm sure some people probably don't want to hear about, but I saw the commercial when I was in high school for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Yes, I am a owner of this game. So, I remember one time that I was visiting my dad for the weekend, And I remember that we were just, just watching TV, just boys being boys. And the TV came on, and I saw, like a shadow, like, of a video game character, like, going from, like, to this building back and forth, like, kind of, like, working on something. And I remember the house exploded. And the thing is, I saw Banjo and Kazooie flying, like this little hovercraft machine. And I just heard Banjo go, like, go, huh? And this game came out, so where Banjo was, like, driving a car and, like, planes and boats and all that stuff. And I was like, this is really interesting. I really want this game. But there was one problem. I didn't have an Xbox 360. I only had a GameCube, a PlayStation 2, a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy Color, and a Nintendo 64. Those are the only game consoles I had. I didn't have any... Oh, and a Nintendo Wii. Those are the consoles that I had. And I was like, how am I going to get a Xbox 360? Well, let me tell you this. So, one of my cousins was planning on selling his Xbox 360 console. And I remember going out to him and I was like, can I have it? And he's like, sure, you can have it. Fuck it. Go wild. So, my cousin, who actually was in New York right now, he actually was the one who gave me the Xbox 360 console. And with my own money, I went to GameStop and I played this game. And chat, you're not gonna believe what I did after I graduated from high school. It was like 2011, 2012. I did the impossible, and I did the thing that I didn't think I was gonna do, that I was going to pull off, but I 100%ed Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. I am not joking. I wanted to be a completionist because I beat both Kazooie and Tooie when I was a kid. And since I was an adult at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself and see what happens. So, I 100%ed Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. I remember at times that I would get frustrated on the challenges. Times that I've actually legit chucked my Xbox 360 controller and almost broke a wall. I almost broke a wall. Keep in mind, this was 2012, by the way, because of how mad I was. I was crazy back then. I'm not crazy now. Maybe I am. Maybe I am crazy. I make puns for you guys. I make puns and silly voices, so of course I'm crazy. But jokes aside, but yeah, I 100%ed this game, and I told myself, never again. Never again would I do this game. But, now, my question to you, chat, I have a question for you guys, and this is super important. So, you guys know I cover Banjo-Kazooie here on Twitch. So, I want to know, in the future, are you guys interested in seeing a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts stream, and by me doing the impossible of 100%ing, just like I did those years ago back in 2012? If you would like to see this stream in the future of yours truly playing it, type in yes if you want to see me play this and watch me suffer. Because I can make it happen. This game actually still works. I know I still have the disc and everything. Yeah, there's kind of this right there. Yeah, look at that beautiful disc. Good old beautiful, beautiful disc. Zen says, yeah, Zen actually wants me to play this game in the future and go for 100% and watch me suffer. Oh, no. Hey, why not? It would be a fun stream. Just suffering over Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts Even though this game is the game is mixed by so many people, fuck it, dude. I don't mind playing this game. I do not mind playing it and 100% in it for you guys. Even though it'll be like a blind playthrough, though. I will not comment on that, though. Yes, I know this game is weird. This game is weird, but hey, I'm the Banjo guy on Twitch. I should probably play it at this point. And I hope this doesn't scare anybody away, and if it does, I'm sorry. So, jumping forward, though, there was another game that I played. Another game that I played when I was in college. Let me go get it. Okay. So there was a game that I played in my middle years of college. And I figured it out as a kid. And that game, chat, was... That game was Snoko! Oh, I'm going to move on to my next game. I was going to talk about a game that I played in my middle... So right now, guys, anybody coming from Snoko's chat, this is part of the stream to where I'm kind of telling my personal story on how I got into Banjo-Kazooie. And, like, you know, my personal feelings on it. So, I was about to move on to the last game. Well, actually, wait, there's one more. I forgot to do. So, guys, I talked about this in the quiz show. So, this was another game that I got for my Xbox 360. And I saw this at a GameStop. And I remember freaking out. And this is when I played Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing. With, of course, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, so Banjo and Kazooie were like guest characters in a Sonic and Sega racing game. And I was like, I had to have it. Because I remember seeing the trailer on TV to like, there was like Sonic characters, there was like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and a bunch of other Sega characters. And then, of course, there was fucking Banjo on the TV. But keep in mind, he's only on the Xbox 360 version. Of course, you know, fucking Microsoft. So, I remember getting this game for my Xbox 360 with Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. And mostly, of course, you know, I had to play Banjo-Kazooie. I had to play as my characters. I had to play my kids. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I got to play the Sonic character. I got to play some Sonic characters like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Amy, Metal Sonic, Eggman, and there was other like Sega characters like I from Monkey Ball, Beat from Jet Set Radio, BD Joe from Crazy Taxi. Like there was a bunch of great other Sega characters, and I got to play it. Sky, enjoy your work. Thank you for stopping by though. Yeah, Fire. Yeah, he's actually in this game. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie's in this game, but only on the Xbox version, no other console. So he's not on PlayStation, he's not on Nintendo, only Xbox, because, you know, Microsoft. Might as well put him in Mario Kart so you can beat him all, right? Yeah, Snoko, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, so fun fact, Snoko, that was Banjo's first appearance in a video game, was Diddy Kong Racing. And, of course, a year later, Banjo-Kazooie came out. But, yeah, I actually played this a lot by myself. I did play this with a few friends back in the day. And then my middle years of college, I got a spare Game Boy Advance SP, and that was one of my first games too, Snoko. That was one of my first games too. Also, what's up, Chosen? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the subathon. Had In-N-Out for dinner. Nice. Welcome to the subathon. I'm going into telling a story about my history and how I got into Banjo-Kazooie. So I got an SP. And I played this game that I never heard about. And that was Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. So you guys know, I did a stream on this a while back. If you guys were there for that stream, I actually beat this game in one night. And basically what this game was, yeah, I did stream it. Y'all remember that? I did post my playthrough of it on YouTube. Basically, it's like a 2D Banjo-Kazooie game. It's a 2D Banjo-Kazooie game that plays a lot like Kazooie and Tooie, but put into one game, and it's in 2D. I know it's a game that not too many people have talked about it, which is totally understandable because around that time, this is where, Rare had to go their separate ways because, with the whole, Microsoft buying business, all that shit. But yeah, that was something new. But if y'all want to see that playthrough I did on YouTube for Twitch on Grunty's Revenge, y'all can go ahead and go to my YouTube channel. Definitely go check it out for yourself. I did beat the game in one night, but I just split the videos up. But it was a pretty fun ride. And then we do have one more thing to talk about, and this one was super special to me. And I think you guys know what's coming up from my story. You guys know what's coming up. The very important thing that made me happy. And that, my friends, was when Banjo and Kazooie got into Smash Brothers Ultimate. Now, I did not stream the Nintendo Direct back on June 11th of 2019, but I do know I did hear about the DLC at the time. Of course, I was really up to date with the DLC, who's gonna get in Smash? Who's gonna get in Smash after Joker? Because I remember at the time, everyone went nuts and wild when Joker got announced for Smash. I remember seeing the Direct outside of a GameStop with some other people, and we were watching the Game Awards to see who got Game of the Year and all that stuff. And they played the trailer for Joker getting in Smash, and that's when Nintendo's like, "Oh, Wave 1 DLC coming out. Here comes Joker." And then summer of June 11th, 2019 came. Of course, and I was praying for Banjo. I was praying for Banjo-Kazooie to come out. And I remember what I was telling my friends, that I kind of had a vision as to what it would look like, what the trailer would look like. And I said, you know what? Since Banjo is from Rare, I feel like they need to add in the rare crew. I'm talking about Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and King K. Rool. Since with Banjo, because they're part of the Rare company. And I was thinking about, you know what? Imagine if there was if it was something similar to the K. Rool trailer, but instead of King Dedede being a troll, it's the Duck Hunt dog, because dog and duck. And the funny thing was, I fucking called it. I called that trailer, that Banjo-Kazooie trailer, to where we got the rare characters. I didn't know how Sakurai was going to do it, but I called it to where there was DK, Diddy, and King K. Rool, and I remember seeing the Jiggy being tossed to the side, and I was in a voice chat with friends, and I was screaming. I was like, no fucking way, this is not true. And I saw the shadow for Kazooie, to where Kazooie spread her wings out, and I was freaking out. And I saw the shadow for Banjo, and I was like, yes! Let's go! I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And when I saw Duck Hunt Dog, I was like, oh my god, this is another fucking troll. I'm like, come on. And then I saw them, dude. Banjo and Kazooie were in Smash. And throughout the trailer, when they were playing Spiral Mountain, and they were even playing Spiral Mountain, the music, and they showed the stage and how beautiful it looked, I want to tell you guys this. Chat, I cried. I am not joking. I legit cried my eyes out. I was shocked, and I was crying because I was so fucking happy that my childhood characters, and just seeing the two characters that I grew up with, that my dad got me involved with, the game that I got to play with my father because of this, just honestly, just hearing the music and seeing Spiral Mountain, it was just a big callback And as the trailer was playing, I actually remember when I was watching the trailer, I actually saw a vision of a young me in my old childhood house actually playing Banjo-Kazooie with my dad. To where around the time to where like my dad would write notes on what I had to do to get the jiggies, beat Gruntilda. That was the final. That was the nail in the coffin that made me cry. All because of that vision that I had right there with me playing Banjo-Kazooie with my dad, like while watching the trailer. That was the huge nail right in the coffin that made me cry. I was crying so much. I cried for like 2 to 5 minutes because I was so fucking happy that my favorite characters, my childhood characters, came back on a Nintendo console. And I remember on a few months, I think it was like about a month or so after the Smash Brothers trailer for Banjo-Kazooie, I remember I went to a GameStop to go pre-order a game. And I also was, and I remember seeing this plush. I actually bought this plush at a GameStop. And for some of you guys to know, this is the Banjo-Kazooie plush that sits right here on my streaming desk with all my other figures. With my Link from Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom, and with my Aqua from Kingdom Hearts, Funko Pop of Aqua from Kingdom Hearts, and of course, you know, my favorite Mario character, which is Luigi. So I saw this, and I remember let me tell y'all this. This was the last one on the shelf at GameStop, and I had to get it. And I remember I was so happy. And I was so happy that I actually played the Spiral Mountain theme from Smash Ultimate. And I remember I was like looking at it. And guess what happened, chat? I was driving home to my old house. And guess what happened in the car? When I was looking at this and just looking at this as I was driving, like looking at it and thinking about it, and of course paying attention on the road. But I fucking cried again. I was so shocked about that. I'm like, dude, why am I crying, dude? I'm legit crying, dude. And this was before Banjo was, of course, available in Smash. This is like, this moment happened like sometime after the announcement kicked in. So, I fucking cried. I cried my eyes out, dude. I could not stop crying. Dude, I was a mess. I was a complete, total mess. I have never done anything like this in my life to where I would, like, take off my glasses, take my shirt, and wipe my eyes so damn much for, like, 2 minutes straight. I was like this for 2 minutes, like, you know, like, sniffing and crying and, like, getting into tears off my glasses because I was fucking happy. I was so damn happy. I could not stop crying, dude. I couldn't stop thinking about, like, how I played Banjo-Kazooie with my dad, like, in my childhood home. It just brought those memories together. So that's why that Banjo-Kazooie has a really huge impact on my life. That's why Banjo-Kazooie is my second favorite game of all time. So, there is one thing I want to do, chat. Chat, we're going to watch the Banjo-Kazooie trailer. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you guys see me cry on stream, I'm sorry. If y'all see me cry, I'm so sorry. If y'all see me cry on stream. There might be a chance that I might cry. I'll try my best not to. But if I cry, then oh well. But there might be a possibility you might see me cry. Maybe. I don't know. I can't 100% guarantee. But we're gonna watch the trailer together. We're gonna watch it together, chat. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. Of course, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching it with me. Okay, so guys, we are going to watch the Smash Brothers trailer for Banjo-Kazooie just to have just to watch it all over again and just enjoy it. And like I said, chat, y'all might see me cry. Maybe. I don't know. But if I do cry, I'm sorry. So I'm just not prepared. I'm not prepared if I actually start crying again. Because I never thought that Banjo would definitely just make me tear up. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer. Shall we, chat? Let's go ahead and watch the trailer. Let's freaking get it. Okay, we're going to watch the trailer. You guys ready? We're going to relive a moment. Like I said, this trailer changed everything. This just brings back so many memories. There's the Jiggy. Seeing all the rare characters. This trailer. This is where I screamed. I screamed at this part right here. Being fucking trolled. Gosh damn it, Sakurai. There's my kids, bro. There's my kids. Alright. I want to stay quiet because here might chance I might cry. Alright, here we go. It's just bringing me back, bro. I kind of feel something, Chad, but I don't know if I want to let it out. Oh no, no. I don't know. I shouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. But man, what a trailer. What a trailer that was. That is what I call a trailer. That trailer was so beautiful. Okay, you guys, so there is one thing I do want to do. And I have one final surprise, and this is how we're going to end this subathon. Which, by the way, I want to say thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. So I got one final thing I'd like to share with y'all. Something that I actually worked on since yesterday and today. So I want to do a test real quick. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so I want to do something real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to get this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play the song real quick. I just want y'all to know. I just want to know if you guys can hear me as I talk over it. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me talk? Can y'all hear me? Are we good? Can y'all hear me? How are we doing? I just want to know real quick before we start. You hear me clearly? Alright, but what about the song? Is the song quiet? Is it too loud? How's the song? I want to know how the song is real quick before we start. How is it? How's the music? Is it too quiet? Too loud? Can y'all barely hear it? It's just right? Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I know one thing I do want to do. There is one thing I want to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did something very special in honor of Banjo-Kazooie's 25th anniversary. And I never thought I was going to do this. And I thought about it yesterday on Wednesday morning. And I said, you know what? I wanted to surprise the chat, you guys, with what I'm about to do. And believe it or not, you guys, even though I don't have it memorized, and I'll just read it from here, but guys, I actually wrote a song for Banjo and Kazooie. I actually wrote a song. Now, I just want to let y'all know I am not a professional songwriter, but I actually legit wrote a song for Banjo-Kazooie. For Banjo and Kazooie in honor of their 25th anniversary. I wrote a song. And the song that I'm going to play is the Spiral Mountain theme from Nuts and Bolts. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. When I wrote this song, like yesterday and today, I actually started crying a little bit when I was writing it. Because this song expresses my feelings throughout the years that I got into Banjo and Kazooie. So everything you're going to hear is my personal feelings throughout the entire series of how I got to play Banjo-Kazooie when I was a kid, to getting involved with it, talking about the adventures, and what happens now as an adult. Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. Something. Okay, y'all can hear me, right? I'm just doing a test. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we loud and clear, chat? Are we loud and clear? Are we perfectly loud and clear? Yeah. You hear me? Okay. Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sing to you my song that I wrote for Banjo and Kazooie in honor of their 25th anniversary. Now, I don't know if I'm going to cry or not. I don't know. Because like I said, writing this song actually made me cry a little bit. So, I don't know. Maybe I might cry. I don't know. So, I'm going to sing to y'all the song I wrote for Banjo-Kazooie while reading this. Because the lyrics are on this piece of paper right here. Alright. And I got the kids right here. I gotta get them though, you know? We gotta get the kids. We gotta get them. See, this is for y'all, yo. This is for y'all. It's for y'all's birthday. Okay. Are y'all ready? Chat, are we ready? Are we ready for the song? The song that I put so much expression on. To the best of my ability. And keep in mind, I'm not a professional songwriter. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Spiral Mountain song that I wrote for Banjo-Kazooie in honor of the 25th anniversary. Let's do it together. Alright, here we go. Hey there, my bestest friends, it's your special day. 25 years of fun is what I say. So why don't we grab your backpack and head on out the door? Adventure is out there for us to explore, and let us race on ancient lake. Save our sis for goodness sake. Fight the witch till she's a fake. Celebrate with one big cake. Let's grab our friends and have some fun. Play under the sun and we'll all have a good time. Share a funny rhyme and that makes us happy. We've climbed some mountain tops, ran around the beach, find some jiggies that were so hard to reach. There was a big haunted mansion and one old rusty ship, a mine filled with gold that we could never skip. We made some honey along the way, fought the witch to make her pay, Jinjos to save the day, bottles to say okay. Kazooie's my bestest friend to the very end. So climb on into my pack, get our jiggies back, and let's fight Gruntilda. Let us build a car. We won't get so far, it just fell apart. This is just a good old start, 'cause Mecha Grunty's here. There's no need to fear. We're together, grab a feather. We can do this as a team. Racing became a thing. Flew up in a plane. Got a new car to drive on down the lane. We just were in it for the cash until we got in smash. Some old friends and new friends until it we match. We've been together for many years. Laughed, cried, and made some tears. Filled me with joy and pride. Thanks for the wild ride with memories I got to share with the bird and bear for one big lifetime. It's just their time for us to be so happy. Banjo-Kazooie, we've come a really long way for 25 years. And you know what? I'm never, ever gonna stop loving you guys. So, why don't we sing one more? These two have come a long way. This is just one big rare day. Happy anniversary, you guys. You are the greatest. And that is the song I wrote. And that was it. That was a song I put in so much effort in. That was the song, you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the Banjo-Kazooie 25th anniversary party and the subathon. Hopefully we can do another one. We can do another one again soon, so that way we can add some more jiggies to our poster board. So that way because I do want to bring it to Reconnect. I do want to bring it to Reconnect. For sure, so we can all take one big photo. But guys, that is my personal history with Banjo-Kazooie. I freaking love these two so much. They are legit my kids. Without a doubt, dude. Banjo-Kazooie will forevermore be my second favorite game of all time. I fucking love this game to the moon and back. And I want to say this real quick before we go. If you guys have not played Banjo and Kazooie, I need y'all to do me a favor and go fucking play it. Go freaking play it. If you have an Xbox console, if you have this on Switch online, I highly recommend playing it. Because my goal is I want to get more people involved in Banjo-Kazooie. Just so that way you guys can relive the memories that I did when I was a little boy. When I got to sit on my bed with my father when I was like 5 to 6 years old. Just playing Banjo-Kazooie. My father pointing at the screen, telling me where I needed to go, what I had to do, how to beat Gruntilda, the final boss. So I really want to encourage you guys to at least, if you have not played it, please get it a try. And one thing, when you guys play Banjo, and I know when it comes to Zelda, you guys legit think of, me, of course, because, I'm the Zelda guy on Twitch. But I really hope that if you guys ever see Banjo anywhere, or if you play Banjo, I hope it helps you guys think of me when you guys see these two together. And that's all I would like to say. Happy 25th anniversary to the best bear and bird, the most epic dynamic duo on the planet.